I'm Quickstep the Green Knight at your service.
Hi, I'm the real Beef McGee.
Hi, I'm Shai Inuyasha.
You were talking the name Phoenix?
Yeah, for now. Going with you today.
Alright. And today, me and Anime Club, we watched something very special. Our first live-action anime movie, Rurouni Kenshin Part 1 Origins.
Yay!
Now, who wants to explain? I'm a little confused on the plot.
Something related to opium and rat poison and like PTSD, I will never kill anyone again or something like that.
You got anything better? Because that was really unfair.
Basically, there was a war going on to decide kind of like the future of Japan. So the samurai, so to speak, lost, and now it's a new era where you have the Japanese military running everything, including the police and all that kind of stuff. So, and then there's Himura Botosai, also known as Rurouni Kenshin, who has a reverse edge blade, which he uses not to kill anyone.
Because after the war, he noticed. Well, he used to be a well-known like killer when he was younger.
Kill sword?
Yep.
Kill sword, but like basically, part of his name is supposed to mean like man killer or something.
Manslayer.
Manslayer.
Yeah, manslayer.
So yeah, and he was famous for being the kill sword. But after a very certain murder, he realized the error of his ways from killing people.
Yep.
Even though he was. It seems like more he was just killing for the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And basically made a vow to never kill anyone again.
Yeah, and basically we find him on this wanderless journey acting like a Ronin.
Rurouni.
Well, no, I'm just going off the term they said in the English.
Yeah.
In English, it's Roni, or something like that.
R-O-N-I.
Yeah, so basically a traveler.
Or like a wanderless swordsman, like a samurai without a master, kind of.
Yep.
Oh, that's Ronin.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what that's the term I was using.
Oh, okay.
Pay attention, beef. All right, so yeah, and we kind of see him as he enters this town and meets this girl. Who I cannot remember her name.
Kaoru.
Kaoru. Yeah, and basically, I don't know, that I'm a little confused on where the story goes after that.
Basically, she meets Kaoru and she tells. No, it's a she. Kaoru's a she.
Well, basically, a series of killings has been taking place, and this guy's been leaving behind retribution notes. Wait, is that what they're called?
Condemnation notes?
Yeah, condemnation notes. And they more or less think that it's a. At first, they more or less think, this is Rurouni Kenshin doing this, or I guess Botosai, as he's called at that point. And we find out, oh, it's not him. Was another kill sword that he had served with for a long time.
And basically, it's him going to clear his name.
Kind of, so to speak.
Basically, the journey, he's going to end up trying to stop the kill sword, and that's what ends up happening, basically. For a summation of the sorry, I lose the place really quickly with subs. You don't pay attention. All right, so initial thoughts now that we finally recapped the live-action film.
I gotta say, they did so good. Funimation did really well with the movie. Besides with just the anime and the manga, it's like, this is awesome.
I thought the fight scenes were, pretty well choreographed, and I thoroughly enjoyed the plot line.
I think it went really well. For a live-action movie, this actually was very gorgeous. Somewhat surprising that we have so terrible ones. Why can't more movies be like this?
I know, I completely understand. Why can't more live-action anime movies be like what we just saw?
Yes, see, people who made Attack on Titan, if you do something similar like this, we'll praise you.
That we will. We will.
what? I'm sorry, they did some really bad choices there. You can adapt her from anime and do it right. Don't do what Evolution did. I'm sorry, there's going to be some comments about older live actions. But yeah, I thought the movie was... Admittedly, I did lose my focus occasionally, but that's more just because I tend to have a little bit of a wandering head and get distracted easily. But it seemed good. The fight scenes were interesting. The character interactions were good. And everything. Like, it seemed like, and from what I looked up, it seemed to have been very faithful to the adaptation. I mean, I've never seen the anime, so I don't know the comparison, but it seems to be well done. And you guys, who have seen it, can probably, they did adapt
Yeah.
it well.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
I-
adapted it well from the anime and from the manga fairly well.
I mean, I haven't seen the anime since I was like 9, but
So, negative thoughts.
Not that I can think of.
Beef?
I thought there were like a few cheesy scenes here and there, but besides that,
The one you'd given the example of.
the Black Knight scene.
Oh.
Basically, the scene, it's one of the
Kenshin.
Kenshin, he's basically trying to keep killing this guy who just keeps getting back up. Because he can't die today. And he keeps getting up over and over. Like every time he gets knocked up, he gets up and up until finally Kenshin just does something he just can't survive. Because he was supposed to get married the next day, I think. There's the story behind it. That's the scene he's talking about. Well, admittedly, it does have some narm in it. But frankly, admittedly, it does show a good idea of like the determinate.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you look at the symbolism, it's actually a pretty interesting scene, but besides that,
Some people could say it's narm charm.
Narm charm?
It's basically a trope that where it be considered narm, but it's narm that works basically. Think like a writing cliche, but I'm using the word trope instead of cliche.
Oh, okay.
Basically, a scene that seems utterly ridiculous, but it works. Like an example, all the crying in One Piece. Some of it seems fitting. Or how Cell sounds when he moves sometimes. He sounds like a monster, which he is. I will say one thing for this movie. While it's not an issue with the movie, well, in a way it is, the dub. We watched this in sub for a particular reason is the dub had just sounded completely weird.
Mhm.
Like the voices
Like
don't
the-
match, and frankly even like the movements don't match.
Mhm.
I get that's possibly something incredibly impossible to fix, but it still just seemed like really weird.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, like the dub, like the people that translated it from Japanese into English, it just didn't match up with the script. So like the actor says the line in Japanese, and then the dub doesn't match up like it's supposed to. It's like actor, then dub.
Yeah,
So
like
it's kind of like, where am I going
it comes
with
across
this?
as like pure narm, and which making like we didn't even get past maybe like what 5-10 minutes into the movie before we had to just stop watching
Yeah.
sub. Like there's like an example where sometimes like there's a idea like it goes back to one of the obvious that would have been needed for that, like woollyism, like altering the script when a certain line doesn't work from translation, like a loss in translation. Like example, Death Gun.
Yep.
That sounds like a childless like villain name in English, but in Japanese that would carry a lot more weight in a sentence where that's the only English in the name.
Right.
In pure English, that just sounds like Death Gun. It sounds pure.
All the
sounds-
information belong to us.
Oh my
I'm not
gosh.
doing this.
Oh my goodness.
Ugh.
No,
Hey, knock it off, stop it.
but yeah, perfect example. It sounds unable to be taken seriously, aka Narm. But if it had been translated as something more like ferocious or dark and scary sounding, it would have worked better. Like there's I'm probably gonna butcher the heck out of this because I've only seen this word read. woollyism. It dates back to one of the earliest Final Fantasy games, like Final Fantasy, the one with Terra 6, I believe.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, but like that whole with just, I wish it would have been easier because apparently some people do enjoy watching dub, and I don't want to be the people who are like, you want to be forced into sub just to get the better part of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I recognize one of the voice actors from the beginning when it was in when we watched the dub, the blanking on the name here, the guy at the opium seller.
Conryu.
Conryu?
Yeah, Connor.
Yeah, if you recognize the voice actor, he's Lena Lee's, I think he's Lena Lee's brother, and
No,
I wasn't.
he's
Then I just might be
not.
imagining the voice.
J. Michael Tatum.
Oh,
What roles does he play? I swear I recognize that voice though.
Um,
I'm assuming he's not also the one of,
Conryu's ugly though. He's ugly. I'm sorry, he just has his teeth sticking out. Like, what are you, part horse?
I mean, he kind of reminds me of Martin Shkreli, frankly.
who?
Martin Shkreli? You ever heard of Martin Shkreli? You know the guy who like, he's like the reason like anti-retroviral therapy costs like a shit ton of money now.
Mm-mm.
What?
No. Anyway, we're getting off topic a little bit.
Yeah. But no, he for some reason when we were watching the dub, his voice reminded me of that, or also one of the characters from Oron House High Club. Or am I just
Or on High School?
High
Host
School?
Club.
Am I just seeing a voice that's not there? All right, then let's just ignore me. Okay, characters. Since we apparently really don't have much negative things to say about this series.
Not really.
Nothing?
Nope.
Not really. The characters were just amazing. Words can't describe it. Words can't describe how good these characters are.
We'll
And-
take a shot.
Well, basically, their personalities and how they act in the live action and in the anime, it's kind of similar if you think about it.
I'd hope so, or they'd be doing an adaptation pretty terribly if they changed the characters'
Yep.
actions.
I mean, I more or less felt like I was watching an anime.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you guys are still surprised by all this praise for a live action movie, it actually was good. It's possible, people. Just like the Warcraft movie was good for video game adaptations. It's possible.
Or like how the Street Fighter movie was good for game adaptations.
No. It wasn't.
Okay.
I would say one thing with the characters, like it's all shown to be like consistent. Like he tries very hard not to kill people.
Mm-hmm.
Even there's only one case where he's forced, when they try to force him to become that kill sword. Then we get the girl, the Karu. She literally breaks out of it, like to make it so he can't be a kill sword anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like the guy who was swinging the huge sword earlier, and like the Sanosuke, the one who was reminding me of like Zabuto's sword.
Yep.
Yeah, you see he's portrayed as like the bad brawler and when you first see him, but he gets stopped literally by an armor-piercing question. Do you really want to work for a guy like that?
Mm-hmm.
And then we show him on his redemption and he joins the heroes.
Yep.
That's all I gotta say. Like the characters are consistent and they work. You don't have any OOC moments. So I guess scoring. Who'd like to start? Yuash?
I am going to give this live action 5 out of 5 on this one.
I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 copies of the Super Mario Brothers movie.
At least make it do something. That was funny, but I was expecting something else. This one's gonna be slightly similar to one of the other ones while I wait for them to finish laughing. We good? Don't break you up. So, alright, I will give it 5 out of 5 reverse blades.
Yeah, if you could actually make that into a reverse blade.
I wasn't trying to make it into a reverse blade.
You sure looked like it.
I was just trying to.
You're not an artist. You're not an artist, sir.
All right. Don't make me go Sonosuke on both of you. Knock it off.
All right. So after that small little delay, that's all for this review. Catch us next time as we watch Magi.
Labyrinth of Magic.
First. All right. That's the Anime Club. Signing off.